The rescue! It had been raining for 2 days. The front yard was full of water. The backyard was full of water, and it was still raining. Pixie and Bobby were bored. They wanted to go outside and play. Pippi was worried. She had not seen Frankie since yesterday. He had gone outside and had not come back. Frankie was missing. Abby said, "I wonder where Frankie could be. I haven't seen him since yesterday. Has anyone else seen him?" "I haven't," said Mom. "But I sure wish Frankie would come home. It's so wet outside." "I miss Frankie," said Tara. "He sits on my lap when I read." "I'm sure he's all right," said Dad. "Cats are very good at taking care of themselves." "Still, I'd feel better if he was not out in the rain. I hope he has found a dry place," Mom said. Pippi was thinking the same thing. She and Frankie were together most of the time. They had been together every day since they were born. She didn't like it when he wasn't there. Still, it kept raining. Late that night, the house was quiet. The rain was not as hard. Pippi thought she heard a soft meow in the distance. "Is it Frankie?" she wondered. She couldn't tell. The meow was too far away. In the morning, the rain finally stopped. "I'm going to send the dogs out to play," said Mom. "They will get very dirty, but they need to run around." She opened the door. Pixie and Bobby ran out. So did Pippi. "I'm going to look for Frankie," said Pippi. The dogs didn't listen. They were having too much fun racing around. Pippi looked high, and she looked low. She looked in the big oak tree in the backyard. She looked in the bushes in the front yard. Then she heard Pixie barking in the back. Pippi rushed to the backyard. Pixie was crouched down, wagging her tail. She was poking her nose into a hole on the side of the house. It was the crawl space. It went under the house. Inside this hole were all the pipes that carried the water for the house. Pixie stuck her head in and wagged her tail harder. She barked. Pippi came running to see. It was very dark in the crawl space. The ground was covered with water. It was flowing along like a little river. Pippi stared into the darkness. Suddenly, she heard a loud meow. "Frankie!" she cried. "Frankie, where are you?" "Meow!" came the reply. Pippi looked hard. She saw 2 green eyes shining. It was Frankie. "What are you doing in there?" called Pippi. "Come out!" "I can't," said Frankie. "I am sitting on a water pipe. There is water all around me. I am stuck." Did you know that most cats hate water? They don't like to get wet. They never swim. They usually stay away from water except to drink it. Poor Frankie had water all around him. "We must get Frankie out," said Pippi. "Can you swim in and carry him out?" asked Bobby. "Pixie and I are too big for that hole." "No," said Pippi. "I'm a lot smaller than Frankie. I can't carry him, and I can't stand the idea of swimming. Oh, what can we do?" The animals looked at each other. They looked around the yard. Pixie saw a flat piece of wood. It was just the right size for 2 cats to sit on. She picked it up in her mouth and dragged it over to the crawl space. "I have an idea," she said to Pippi. "You will rescue Frankie on this raft. This wood will float. Bobby will push the raft with a stick. You can float to Frankie and bring him out on the raft." "It sounds scary to me," said Pippi, "but I will do it. We must get Frankie out." Bobby ran to get a long stick. He carried it back in his mouth. Pixie and Pippi put the raft in the flowing water in the crawl space. Pippi hopped on quickly. "I am coming to get you, Frankie," she called. Bobby pushed the raft with a stick. The raft floated along towards Frankie. When it came close enough, Frankie stepped carefully onto the raft. But now the cats had to make the raft go back to the opening. Bobby couldn't push it anymore. "I don't like to get wet," Pippi told Frankie, "but we must put our paws in the water. We must row with our paws so we can get out of here. You row on one side and I'll row on the other." So Frankie lay on one side of the raft and rowed with his front paws. Pippi lay on the other side of the raft and rowed with her front paws. Slowly they moved ahead toward the opening of the crawl space. Finally, the cats rowed their little raft right to the opening where Pixie and Bobby were waiting. When the raft came close enough, Pixie put her foot on it to hold it still. Quickly, Frankie and Pippi jumped off. They got off just in time for the rain to start again. All the animals ran to the door. The cats meowed and the dogs barked. Mom came to see what was the matter. "Frankie," she cried happily. "Frankie, you are soaked, but you are back safe and sound." She dried all the animals with a towel and let them into the house. She made a fire in the fireplace, and Frankie, Pippi, Bobby, and Pixie lay down in front of it to get warm. "Thank you for helping me," said Frankie. "Thanks to each one of you, I'm saved. It was cold and lonely under the house. It was scary. I'm very glad to be home." "We are glad you are home too," said Pippi. "Now let's all take a nap." So they all took a warm nap in front of the fire, and outside it kept raining. The end.